All right, and we're back from our break. I'm Philip Gilfs again for the Wake Up Hour. We're in our second half hour, and we're going to do a little transition. We go from talking about business and economic issues here in Cumberland County and Fayetteville, and then talking a little bit more about I don't even know the genre to give this, but we'll go with culture, entertainment, and recreation here, talking about an interesting enterprise that we have here in Fayetteville and Cumberland County that I don't think enough people know about. We have two ladies here from the Fayetteville Rogue Rollergirls team. And so, ladies, thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you for having us. So
we have Lisa Reaver and Susie Jones. And for anyone who knows anything about the roller derby world, you know that every and I'm probably going to get the terminology wrong here, ladies, so you'll have to correct me. All the players, I don't know if that's all the
skaters.
All the skaters. There you go. See, I'm going to start already. All the skaters all have sort of nom de plumes that they go by, and so we have here's Lisa is VaLisa Raptor,
woohoo,
and then Susie, who I feel like we're debuting her name here. I believe we have is Rock'em Sock'em Julia. So for our listeners who have no idea what we're talking about right now, can you explain a little bit about what roller derby is and where you all do your bouts, otherwise known as games known as bouts, here in Fayetteville?
For sure. So roller derby is a race. At the bottom line, at the very base of it, it's a race between two teams. You have girls on the track that are called blockers, 4 from each team, that stand up front, and they have to stay within 10 feet of each other. So they have to stay sort of packed together, and we call it a pack. And so the pack has to stay together. They blow the first whistle, the pack starts, and then there's one jammer from each team standing behind them. And on the second whistle, the jammers get to go. And it's the jammers that score the points. And you can recognize who they are because they have stars on their helmets. It's very obvious that they are special. And so they come through the pack, and they have to get through the pack once. And after they've gone through their first time, on every pass through the pack, they get points for every girl's hips that they pass.
Yeah, I'll admit I've been to a few bouts here at Fayetteville, and
woohoo!
I'll be looking at the scoreboard, and then I'll look away, and I'll look at the scoreboard again, and I'll be like, "What happened? Like 100 points happened? I was just like getting a hot dog." But now, where do y'all currently have your games?
At the Utah skating rink.
Okay, and you all have a home bout here coming up on Saturday, June 23rd. Over at 4:30, I think 4:30. Kind of the doors open, and then the game, or excuse me, the bout starts at 5. Again, that's at Utah Roundabout at 880 Elm Street. For some of our listeners, they may know it's going to be about a block behind the Obama headquarters. And let's see, for the cost of admission, and 16 and older is $10. Ages 8 to 15-year-olds is $6, and 7 and younger is admitted free. And you will be playing the
Charlottesville. Oh, jeez. That's terrible. We're playing the Charlottesville Roller Derby Girls.
She's like, it doesn't matter. We're going to beat them. We don't know their names.
Charlottesville, Virginia. We're having them over, and we're gonna show them what we can do.
Cool. And yeah, so how long? Susie, I guess you're sort of new to the area. How long have you been involved in the roller derby?
Since March.
Really?
Yeah. I have to go through my assessments. I think they're this Sunday, so that's when. I could or could not be official.
Oh, okay. So you're on there.
She's going to do awesome. She's been trying really hard. She's got a great heart for skating, and she's doing awesome. And
so sort of what kind of drew you to join the team here? Have you had prior experience or just something that you saw went on? And
well, I've done sports my whole life, and I always love the camaraderie that comes with when you do sports with other people. Mm-hmm. So that's what drew me into it, and the experience has been great. I love these girls. Mm-hmm. They're awesome. They do welcome you if you have a problem. They welcome you, and they try to help you out.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then, Lisa, about yourself, how long have you been doing it, and what got you involved in this? Well, I know the answer, but what got you involved in this team?
I've been skating for a few years now. I started in Alaska. I'm in the military, and I was stationed in Alaska. So I started there. I was playing rugby with a local rugby team, and one of the girls said, I saw some roller girls skating one day, and I was like, what are they doing over there? They were like, they're doing this roller derby stuff, and I was like, what? So I went to a bout. I was like, I could do this. This would be awesome. And so I went and tried out, loved it, and fell in love with it very much like Susie from the time you get started, just because it is so empowering. It is the first time in my adult life that I felt like I was playing. Like, I've played sports my whole life. I played softball, volleyball, intramurals, like I said, rugby, like anything I could get my hands on, I tried it. And roller derby was the first time that I just have straight fun. Like, it is so much fun to skate around and just be like a little kid. That's what I feel like. You get to take on this alter ego and be fierce in a way that you sometimes aren't in your daily life, and just be this other person. And it's really great. It's a really fun time.
Awesome. Yeah, and I guess just for our listeners who, again, are sort of new to the roller derby experience, sort of roller derby traditionally, I suppose, it's all women teams, and I think here at the Rollergirls, given the area, you're going to have there's a lot of folks who are either in the military or they're military spouses, military dependents, and probably just some regular civilians as well. So, for those who come out and want to support our folks who are serving, or those folks who are serving those who are serving.
And that's actually a great point, because we have there are people that I think are timid to come out because they know that they're not going to be here forever, or they don't need to, they're trying to, I'm not going to be here for a long time, so I don't want to invest in it. And there's a lot of ways that people can be a part of roller derby, even for a short period of time as non-skating officials or volunteers. It's a skater run and skater managed organization. And so most of us have full-time jobs or stay-at-home moms, which is a full-time job, and then skate on the side. And so this isn't something that we spend our entire afternoon. Okay, sometimes we do spend our entire day doing it, but the idea is to have volunteers and helpers and things that help put on these bouts, because these bouts are a production. It's an event that for a couple hundred people every month that we're doing and or traveling to go take part in. And so any volunteers, we're always looking for volunteers. If you come out to the bout and you're like, man, I want to be a part of this, you don't have to be a skater. There's a bunch of different ways that you can be a part of it.
And then sort of tell me about sort of life on the road, because obviously not only do you have bouts here in Fayetteville, you're also playing against various other folks as well. So sort of what's that sort of, having a full-time job at the same time, traveling to all these other cities to go to do bouts? It's
a fantastic opportunity. A little bit of history for the Rogue Rollergirls here. They started in October of 2006, and we still have one original member, Southern Hale, started with a group of about 6 girls, and they were traveling and representing Fayetteville and in other cities here in the region. And we've moved up to, I think we have about 30-ish girls with our new folks like Susie that'll be trying out and becoming roller girls this weekend. But we travel from about 6 to 8 hour radius around the region skating, and the Rogue Roller Girls have gone as far as DC and Bradenton, Florida, and Knoxville, Tennessee, representing Fayetteville, which is a great opportunity for us, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of camaraderie. Like when we go on the road, like I've been able to skate with the team in 2 separate bouts, one in Savannah and one in Columbia, South Carolina, and both times the teams that we go to are there's just a fellowship of women among all the roller derby leagues, even though we skate against each other when we're on the track. As soon as the bout's over, we're all together, and we go to the after parties together, and we help clean up the track, and we all know what it's like because we all do the same thing at home. And so there's a very big fellowship of women and a build-up of the values of sportsmanship and being good to each other. It's really neat.
And then I guess tell me a little bit about the audiences who come to this, because it's always struck me that it's pretty much a little bit of everyone. It's all ages and all that. So.
It is. This is especially here in Fayetteville. We're very family friendly because it's at a roller skating rink, and so we have a lot of family friendly ages of folks that are coming, and there's everyone from doctors and lawyers down to high school kids that are little counterculture and emo or whatever you have, and everything in between. We have bikers and we have professional women, and there's everybody is there. It's a come one come all, and part of Derby is that we love everybody and we just want everyone to have a good time.
That's right. For all those kids who can't hang out at the mall anymore, you can come to the roller derby game next Saturday.
It's awesome.
So awesome. Now what are the other teams sort of that are in your, like, kind of explain to us, some of us who follow sports, kind of what's your league or your all that stuff about what other teams you play against.
Okay. We are working on becoming, there is a Women's Flat Track Derby Association, which is the national sanctioning body for the entire country, actually the entire world of women's flat track derby. So derby started way back when, and then I think most people's frame of reference now for roller derby is the 1980s, when they did sort of a resurgence, and there was like a roller games kind of figure 8 and alligator pits and WWE style like chokeholds and craziness on these bank tracks. And although that's very fun and entertaining. We have sort of evolved the sport into something that it's all on flat tracks, because logistically that's much easier to do. You can find a flat space and make a track on it that's large enough for us and meets the standards. And so these women's flat track derby leagues are sprouting up all over the country. And according to, so WIFTA created itself, I think, in the early 2000s. I don't remember the actual year that they stood up, but they started accepting and putting out, like, hey, these are the rules that we want to all follow, so that we're not all doing our own thing. And so WIFTA is sort of our leading thing, sort of like the NFL is for football. They put out the standards and everyone follows them, or the MLB for baseball. And WIFTA is our national sanctioning body, and they follow the rankings and watch people. So there's all different shades of leagues, everything from the WIFTA certified people that are competing at the highest levels, like I think it's awful that I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that the Rocky Mountain Rollergirls from Denver are one of the top teams I know, or Gotham. There's some teams that we all look at and go, oh, we're going to be like them one day. And so there's definitely everything from those to teams that are brand new and just starting and only have 6 players, like we were back in 2006. And WIFTA has on their website talked about there's 156 certified leagues that are WIFTA certified, and there are 58 leagues around the world that are apprentice leagues. So you have to be an apprentice league for a year, and then you become a full-fledged WIFTA league. We are working on becoming an apprentice league, so there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. We're working on a nonprofit status so that we can show that we're an actual organization of women, for the women, by the women. We do a lot of community support things. It's part of WIFTA's challenge, is that you have to be giving back to your community, because it's not just about skating, it's about your community and building good citizens and people in Derby. So we're working towards WIFTA, and we've played against, I think, people that are WIFTA and those that aren't. We're just playing against leagues that, as long as they follow WIFTA standards and ref to those standards, then it's safe. And so we skate against them.
And you've talked a little bit about stuff that you do sort of off the track, sort of the community service, I guess, that y'all have started doing. Talk a little bit more about some of the stuff you've been involved in recently.
Okay.
I've been to the pig picking for autism, and what we did was our major thing there was to help make money with raffle tickets, and it was a great experience. I love doing the community service aspect of it. It just makes you feel very involved with the community, because we want to give back to the community because they give so much to us.
Awesome.
We've also done the food bank, and I'm trying to think of some of the other things that we volunteered with. Recently, the most recent was just this weekend. We did the food bank and
Second Harvest.
Yes, Second Harvest.
Cleanup at Lake Rim, I think.
Yeah, we did the Lake Rim cleanup the weekend before last. So we're pretty active out there.
All right, we're going to take our last break of the hour, and we'll be back more with some Rogue Roller Girls. You're listening to Wake Up. All right, this is our last 15 minutes here, or last 12 minutes here on the Wake Up Hour, and we have 2 of the Rogue Roller Girls from Fayetteville's premier roller derby team.
Woo-hoo!
We have Rock'em Sock'em Julia, a.k.a. Susie Jones, and VaLisa Raptor, a.k.a. Lisa Reaver. So, Susie, you're sort of the newbie on the team. Kind of tell the folks who may be out there listening, who may be like, well, maybe I should think about joining this. Kind of what's been the process for you and being a new skater here?
Well, I want to tell everybody to, yes, try to join roller derby or get involved in some way. It's a great experience. But what I experienced when I first got there was they really love teaching us, and they really love making sure we know what we're supposed to do. When I first went there, they separated us. They had what you would call us as the fresh meat. They trained the newbies, fresh meat. They trained us separately for a while, and then at some point we were allowed to do contact, and it got kind of scary, but they were all very nice about it, and we're not...
Well, and I guess to explain to folks, who haven't seen roller derby, it's not quite violent, but I mean, there's certainly the ladies do bump each other as they are skating, and so it's sort of like a NASCAR race. You're watching the cars go round and round. In this case, it's people, and every now and then you are hoping for a little flame out there. But
And we do keep the newbies separate in the beginning for their safety and ours,
Right.
because just like in any other sport, if you don't really know what you're doing, especially when you're in a pack situation where we have to be so close to each other, if a newbie is, kicking her skates out or throwing her arms out, and we're not used to dealing with that, and at the same time, if we're, bumping into her or pushing her, and she's not used to that thing either, then everybody falls over, and that's not any fun.
And then I'll bring up one controversial statement, and probably everyone can beat me up for saying this, but one thing I like about roller derby is that you have normal-looking women on your team. This is you have different areas of life and in different areas of entertainment where women are supposed to look one way or another, but roller derby, it is come as you are, and they'll teach you how to do it. So,
for sure,
yes.
that is one of our favorite things, and you'll see a lot of derby people have things that say "roller derby saved my soul" in places where they maybe weren't accepted in different, as they were in different ways. In roller derby, absolutely. As long as you put your heart and soul into skating and do your best while you're out on the track with us and give your all to the team, everyone loves you the way that you are.
So you have any new bruises, Susie, after all your
all
trials?
all over my body. I feel like I have the most bruises than anybody else.
That's because she has the heart for it and she gets in it. She's not scared when they're like, anybody else want to skate? And we might have our biggest blocker up there, and Susie's like, I'm in. I'll do it. Let me give it a shot.
And then one thing I enjoy, it reminds anyone who's ever been to maybe a Swamp Dogs game, the baseball team, both the same thing kind of at y'all's bouts, is you sort of have different promotions and different things like that. And, for instance, if you, when you first get there, you can get into the raffle to get the best seat in the house. And
you have been here. I love this.
Yes,
The best seat in the house is a mostly Febreze couch that is pretty safe to sit on, but it sits right at turn 2, just like NASCAR, turn 2 where all the action is. Everybody's trying to get around each other, and it's very comfy, and everyone should try to get there early and try to get that. Seats are at a premium. That's why we say that the doors open at 4:30 and the bout starts at 5, because we have bleachers, we have some seats, but there's a lot of people standing, although the best seats in the house are right around the outside of the track. You have to be 18 or over to sit in them because they're called suicide seating. You might get a roller girl in your lap because we get hit out sometimes. You fall over and you just slide into whatever's closest. And so as long as you catch us, you can sit in suicide seating, and it really is the best seats because you're so close to the action. It's really fun to watch.
So instead of catching a foul ball, you get to catch a foul derby girl.
Derby girl. Just don't slide out of the way and make us hit the wall. That would be not fun.
But yeah, that is because you have anyone who's ever been to at least a roller rink, even if you haven't been to the specific one, you sort of know there's the rink, so you can stand behind there. Then they actually have bleachers that you can sit in. There's very, very few seats available. Then, like you said, you can actually sit sort of on the edge of the wall and watch as the women go by you, and you can get the up close and personal experience there at roller derby.
The best kind. We only smell a little. It's pads. The pads get stinky.
Right, and then currently, like I said, for the ticket prices, it's $10 for 16 and older, and then $6 18 to 15, and free for 7 and younger. So very low ticket prices, and then the concessions there are available at the roundabout at Utah. So sort of can get a, for what you'd pay to go to a movie, you can probably pay half that and get a full bout experience and be able to get all your food and drink as well. So
That's right. And people often ask how long it takes. Derby bouts are 2 30-minute halves, but they are punctuated by jams in the middle and penalties and timeouts. And so I would allot maybe a couple hours of time to be there. So if it starts at 5, probably won't be done until after 7.
A little halftime or whatever you call it.
We do have a halftime show. Last time we had, I'm not sure what our halftime show is this time, but last time we had a band that played in the corner, and everybody could come over, and so you get like a free music show along with their derby ticket price, and it's really, really fun time.
Awesome. So what are the names of some of the other teams in your league? Because well, actually, let me ask you this question. So there's another home team, right? Explain this one to me, because I went to a derby game, and it's like we have 2 home teams playing against each other. I'm like, what is this all about? I only know the Rollergirls.
So the secret is it's actually kind of a scrimmage.
Okay.
And so what we do is we take the large league that we call Rogue Rollergirls, and we split it into 2 home teams, the Ritzy Rollers and the Home Wreckers. And so their one team's pink and one team's blue, and we're all part of the same league, but we have separate home teams that so if we're playing at home. But when we travel, we take sort of the best of our teams of both of those home teams and just go as one rogue solid team, and we all skate together.
So for people who want to find out more about you, what are some places on the interwebs that they can check you out
You
at?
can go to, I'm looking at my website right now, it's roguerollergirls.com. And that's really, if you Google Rogue Roller Girls, there's roguerollergirls.com. We're on Facebook. Those are kind of our two big things that you can find out. But go to our website because we have a new webmaster, Nicole. I don't remember what her derby name is.
I don't either.
But Nicole is amazing. She's done fantabulous things with our website. And so it's got great photos and information about us and where to go and how the tickets. You can buy tickets at Ed McKay's and Cherry Blossom Studios before the bout happens, so you can make sure that you've got a seat. You can buy them at the venue itself too, but we prefer to have people buy them in advance because it helps our league a little bit more. So you can go to the website, find out all the details that you want about Saturday night's bout and then our upcoming bouts that we have for the rest of the season.
I feel like if you really want to get to know roller derby, though, you should come to our practices and have anybody is welcome to come watch the practices, and you actually get to know how the processes work because it's step by step for you to see.
And like, how much time are y'all having to put in for practices? How for someone who's maybe thinking of joining or just, I mean, folks who are interested in the game. How much are you putting in on the side there?
Well, we have 2 days a week that we practice for 2 hours, but a lot of us do outside, conditioning. I skate with my dogs all the time. I love skating.
I think
with
is
my
super
dogs.
dangerous because dogs have a mind of their own, and when you're on wheels, you kind of go where they want you to go. So that's amazing. That's probably why she's getting so good already.
She's hitting your dog.
Exactly.
I also go and do weights, and other girls I know for a fact that they go to the gym and we work out because you do have to have an athlete's body in order to do this because you're an athlete and you have to do a sport. So
the athletes, I can say from personal experience, come in all shapes and sizes. So we do want everyone to. It's a very encouraging sport in that we accept everyone as they are, like we said. So we have people of all shapes and sizes on our team and in our league. But we do the workout itself. People pay a lot of money to go be a part of gyms and whatever, and 4 hours a week of skating is a lot of cardio, and it's good for your body. And so look at it as that way. And the league, people sometimes ask if we get paid to skate, and we're like, actually we pay to skate. We have to pay dues to pay for the track time, but I see that as like a gym membership. Like I get to spend a couple hours a day twice a week doing cardio work with them, and it's just so much fun. So
right. For anyone who's sad that the Pilates studio closed in Fayetteville, we now have a new place you can go work out.
That's
with
right.
The Rollergirls.
It's a different kind of release. And I think people sometimes are afraid that we're not nice, or because we take on these alter egos when we're skating. So if that's the only time that you see us is at the bout, and you're like, oh, I could not be a part of that. That's not true. We're actually very sweet. Okay, maybe not all of us, but most of us, super nice. And we're just excited to have people that are excited about Derby too. So if you're at all have an inkling, and I know there are a lot of people. My first job was at the Roundabout roller skating rink where we skate. So I know there are a bunch of people that know how to skate in this town. So if you think that might know how to skate, men or women, because men can be our referees, and we need refs. And so if you come out and see it and you're like, man, I really want to be a part of this, don't hesitate. Like, we absolutely will take you in with open arms and show you how to do everything, and teach you anything you know how to do. Even if you don't know how to skate, we'll teach you how to skate. That's why we'll keep you separate for a little while. But
do you get like a little dunce hat?
Yeah.
Or something on your helmet?
No, but I get newbie gear that the team offers for people who are beginning. I guess it's old gear that previous players have had, and so I still have that. So if I become official to the team, I'm going to get my own gear.
Okay, awesome. Now, what's y'all's season? So, I mean, I know you have a home bout coming up, but that's sort of when does the season end? Is there like a postseason or anything?
I think it goes through October, and we have about a month leading up to October. But sometimes the bouts are home, and sometimes the bouts are away. I think it's about every other month. You'd have to go on our website, roguerollergirls.com, to check out all of our games and all the stuff that we're doing this season. But yeah, that's our. I think it's through October. But Susie made a good point about your equipment. Like, we are very safe, and so when you go to a bout, every roller girl will have on a helmet, a mouth guard, wrist guards, elbow pads, knee pads, and then skates with toe stops. And so that's all to keep us safe, and we try to fall forward onto those pads rather than backwards on our tailbone, which is not as easy. And so when you see us out there, the reason we do a lot of things and there's a lot of ask questions when you're at the bout. There's going to be people walking around that you can be like, hey, what just happened over there? Because there's a lot of rules that are in place to keep players safe. Like you can't hit somebody from behind, because if you get hit from behind, it's hard to know what's going to happen to you, and it's really dangerous. And so there's a rule that you can't hit anybody on their back. Now, if you get up beside them, you can bump them with your hips and your shoulder and move them wherever you want to move them. But from the back, you can't. You can't hit in the head, because that's not safe, and you can't trip people below the knees. That's not safe. So there's definitely still contact, and it's definitely still an aggressive sport in some ways, but it doesn't. It's not the 1980s. Like, there's no clotheslining, and I mean, sometimes on accident, you go to the penalty box.
And I know folks can they still go on your website and almost sponsor a roller girl or even the team?
I think they can. And there's always jars out that, like if you have a favorite roller girl, you can put some money in her jar to help with the equipment that Susie's talking about, because all of those things cost us money. So we also, while you're talking about sponsors, we have a few sponsors that I'd like to thank, if I can take just a second.
You got a couple minutes left.
CCE, Headgear Plus, Ed McKay's Used Books, where you can buy tickets, Jack's Tap, Brain Box Development, and Cherry Blossom Studio, where you can also buy tickets.
Awesome. All right. Well, we had the pleasure of sitting with Rock'em Sock'em Jawea and VaLisa Raptor, otherwise known as Susie Jones and Lisa Reaver, from the Rogue Roller Girls here, and their home bout is Saturday, June 23rd, 4:30 p.m. at the Utah Roundabout over at 880 Elm Street, and you can buy tickets where they said. So, ladies, thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much for having us.
All right, and you've been listening to Wake Up. Heartbeat is next up.